All right, so now you guys have explored all these places. We did a little recap on all of the places that you visited. For the viewers watching, which places do you find have been most affordable?
Yeah, Southeast Asia by far.
Okay.
So we've done expensive cities here, so it could be much cheaper than even this. But Kuala Lumpur is the capital of Malaysia, right? And Bangkok in Thailand. So you could even get more affordable than that. But out of all the places we've been, these are the most affordable, and you get a lot for your money. So we have not sacrificed any quality, which is something I was kind of concerned about. Like, oh, maybe you get what you pay for. Okay, well, the scale is all different here. So here, you could be, if you're a middle class American, you might be wealthy in some of these places. And that sounds weird to say, but you're going to be, if you could be paying a third or half of what you pay now in the United States, and you'll be in the best neighborhood in the capital city.
Hi, can Ernest and I ask you a favor? If you find our content helpful, please hit that subscribe and like button. It truly helps us grow and it makes Ernest happy. All right, so today we are going to have a special podcast. I'm meeting with my new friends Scott and Maddy. Scott and Maddy, how you guys doing?
I are doing great.
Doing well.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you two. Today we're going to explore something a little bit different for my viewers. We're going to talk about slow travel and what that is and what it's all about because that's what you guys have been doing for how many years now?
Close to 2 years.
Okay, so wow, you're into, and you are based currently out of where?
Oh, right now we're in Kuala Lumpur, and before that we were in Bangkok. But previously, starting for the 2 years, we were in South Florida.
Okay, so you're in Kuala Lumpur, and if anybody can see the reflection in the glass, wow, we can see what are those buildings, the two tall buildings, what are they called?
So we have the Petronas Towers. That used to be the tallest
Tall,
building in the world.
yes.
And this is the KL Tower. And around, we can see it from our balcony, but you can't see in this view, is Merdeka 118, which is currently the second tallest building in the world.
Wow.
So I didn't know any of that when we first came
Yeah,
before, but this place is pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's everybody that I've ever talked to that's in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, everybody loves it. There's something about that place that's special because everybody falls in love with it. But I love the reflection. Well, let's start you guys by you just introducing yourself. Tell us who you are, where you're from, and what prompted you to leave the US and slow travel.
sure. So I'm Maddie. This is my husband, Scott. We are originally from South Florida, so a little bit north of Miami, in the US. And we started slow traveling after we got married. I'd say probably because it was something that I always wanted to do. I was actually born outside of the US. I was born in Guam, well,
Ooh,
inside the but abroad. Yes, I was born in Guam, which I know was in your recent video about
yeah.
leaving.
Wow.
Yeah, so interesting story there, but for another time. But I've always, the idea of living outside of the US wasn't that foreign to me, and it was always something that I thought I might pursue one day if I had ever met the right person, and then I finally did, and we both figured out how to work remotely, and it really kind of went off from there. Once, I mean, we got married and then we started traveling pretty quickly after that. We did keep our apartment initially, and then we finally let go of it last year. So that was a big leap. And now we're full time on the road traveling every few months.
Wow. All right. You guys met and you got married and then you started to just say, we're going to go explore the world.
Yeah, Scott, after we got married, Scott was like, what do you want to do in life? Like, what's really important? Because I mean, we've been talking about starting a family and all that, but before that starts, what do you want to do? Um, and the answer easy was travel. So
Yeah.
here we are.
Yeah, and as
Wow.
like life has gotten more expensive in the US and kind of the quality of certain products or services, it feels like maybe it's declining. Like we've had our eyes really open and been amazed by other places we've gone. So it's really educated us as far as what's available. And even for us, as far as, if we could retire early, this is like a way to sample countries in a really low risk way. So you're like, oh, try this out for a couple months or 3 months, and you kind of get a feel for, could I fit in here? Does this place fit my personality or how we like to live? So it's been awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
because I mean, no matter how much you research online, you can never really know what a place is going to feel like or how you're going to feel in that place without being there, like
That's true.
physically experiencing it. So I think it's great to like narrow down a few places or have a few places in mind that you're interested in. But if you're thinking about living somewhere, I definitely think you should go test it out, stay for at least a month, and go see what it's actually like to live.
If you've been thinking about moving abroad, but you're still stuck on where to go or even where to qualify, well, you're not alone. That uncertainty is exactly what holds most people back. That's why we created our Ideal Destination Finder, a simple 25-question assessment designed to cut through the noise. It looks at your lifestyle, budget, goals, and preferences and gives you your top 3 best fit countries to move to. No more guessing, no more endless research, just clear, personalized direction that saves you time, money, and a lot of frustration. And if you're that kind of person that wants more clarity, someone to talk things through with, I offer one-on-one consultations where we can map this out together based on your exact situation. If you're ready to move forward, head over to adventurefreaksss.com. You can scroll down a little and you'll see the ideal destination on the left. Just click it and get started. On the right, you can book a consultation with me. Pick a time that works for you. It's that simple. We'd love to help you finally get clear and take the next step. Yeah, well said. I mean, I say that a lot in the videos that if anybody has the means, make sure you do an exploratory tour of the country you're interested in because it could look great on a YouTube video, but once you get there, the vibe might not be what you expected. And it's really important to have boots on the ground to kind of experience that. All right, so you guys are traveling, you're in this amazing city, Kuala Lumpur, but where, let's first define for the viewers what is slow travel and what is the importance of slow travel?
Yeah, so for us, slow travel is you're not gonna rush around like a tourist, like, oh, I have to hit it, check, 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 see all these like top 10 places. You're gonna be there for an amount of time where you can do it at your own pace. So if you're in a spot for a month, would you like to see in that month? And you kind of do it at a leisurely pace. That might include getting accommodations for a month where you can get a better deal than a short-term rental. It could be for 2 months, 3 months, whatever, suits you, your budget allows. And it kind of means you're usually going to explore how life is more as a local to see what the place is really like day to day. So for us, since we're working, maybe Monday through Wednesday, we're living life except at an elevated level because it's so much more affordable. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're going to do like one tourist thing a day or explore wherever we're at. Yeah, so like that, we're not in a rush. It's the opposite.
Yeah, are you guys choosing countries that you are actually potentially interested in moving to?
Absolutely.
Yes, so we
Yeah.
are we I know it's known as slow travel, but we do call it like country sampling. We're kind of sampling for a home base. So part of that slow travel for us is also seeing what our day-to-day life, kind of seeing if we can pick up like our daily routines that we had in Florida and see what that would look like wherever we are abroad. So in Kuala Lumpur, uh, or in Florida, we would go to the gym every day. Can we still do that here in Kuala Lumpur? Can we still cook at home? Can we still, have a regular work schedule while we're here? Those are all things that we definitely test out while we're here. We see what it's like to get groceries, to, just do regular, like everyday errands and get a feel for is this something like, can we see ourselves living here long term, or is this really temporary because it's too difficult? What does that look like?
Yeah.
And so these are things that we're constantly kind of evaluating,
Yeah.
along with obviously like the cost. And then there are other things to take into account, like how long can we stay here? The visas will come into play too.
you guys have a YouTube channel and you are documenting a lot of this information, right? So for the
Yes.
for the viewers that want to lean into this a little bit more and learn about all of the information that they're documenting from country to country, what is your YouTube channel?
Touchdown Money Travel. So yeah, we
Okay.
can show you a lot of the places we've been, from Mexico City, Medellin, Colombia, Lima, Peru, some spots around Europe. We really love Madrid. Yeah, now we're here in Southeast Asia, and this has been more affordable than any other place,
Safe.
safer than any other place, and a lot surprising. It's surprisingly easier as a transition, even though it's so much further for us from the United
Yeah.
States than some of the places in Latin America, although we love those too, and that might be someone else's vibe. Those could be our vibe too,
Yeah.
actually. But we've just been really surprised by almost all the places in a great way.
Yeah, so okay. So Touchdown Money Travels, your YouTube channel, you guys can find more information on this experience. I see this so valuable because you guys are actually going to each region almost of the world, and you're getting a
Mhm.
taste and a flavor of each region, and then you're sharing that perspective on your channel, which is hugely beneficial. Because you guys
Thank
like
you.
what Scott just said. You just said, you're really enjoying the experience in Asia, and it's so far away. That's the one big thing about US. It's so far away, so a lot of people discount it. But for the people that actually go out there and experience it, they love it. So then it
Yeah.
becomes a hard thing. It's a hard thing, right? Because you want to kind of stay closer to home, but yet, wow, I'm vibing out halfway around the world.
The and I mean, just the bang for the buck is incredible once you come out here. I know it's more expensive to come this far, but wow, it's incredible. Just the cost of living, which we do talk a lot about, and I'm sure we'll get into here, is, I mean, we can cut our expenses down by half, if not more, depending on
Sure.
the area.
Yeah. And it looks like you guys have quite a nice condo in Kuala Lumpur. So here's my question about first. When you guys are slow traveling and you're staying a month, 2 months, sometimes you'll stay, what, 3 months because you're allowed to stay in a country for 3 months, then you got to get out. How are you finding these apartments? For the viewers, how do they find these apartments and how do you negotiate the best price?
Sure. So our strategy is typically when we get to a new country, city, whatever, we book like a hotel or an Airbnb. So something that we kind of know what we're walking into for at least
Hmm.
like the first 5 to 7 days, so a
Okay.
week. And we dedicate that 5 to 7 days to finding an apartment for the remainder. So a lot of the time we do that. We find these apartments on Facebook. We found our apartment in Bangkok on Facebook. We found this
Okay.
one on Facebook. You do need to be careful because I know there's are horror stories. So make sure you ask about like the owner and make sure you try to see if the real estate agent is licensed. But we connected with real estate agents through Facebook groups. So there's tons of rental Facebook groups. If you just type in like the city and the word short-term rental or the word
Okay.
short-term rental, that's how we have found these places. And usually, I mean, we're paying like half. We stayed in an Airbnb actually in this building for the first week. Fell in love with the building. Thankfully, we're able to find an apartment in this building to stay longer for the 3 months. And we're paying half the nightly price that we were on Airbnb.
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's actually under half the nightly price.
Hmm.
So, I mean, we're paying like $29 a night here in
Okay.
rent. It's $864 in rent.
Yeah.
Um, and for an Airbnb in the same building, it was like $75 a night.
Yeah. So
Wow.
when you go with Airbnb, you're going to pay a premium for the convenience, and also there's a safety
The
factor.
security.
You know that Airbnb could refund you if something goes wrong and all that. But what you don't have, it's like you're looking at pictures online. What is it? How loud is the place? Is everything as it is? Pictured, because that's not often the case. So when you get to see it for yourself, you have more peace of mind, and that's more important, I think, when you're staying in a place to slow travel, because you're going to have more time in your home space, your apartment, or what have you, than if you're like go go go. You're like, oh, I
Yeah.
don't care. I'm just here to sleep. I'm a tourist. I'm outside all the time. Well, here, you're going to be out, but you're also going to be in a neighborhood. Do you like the neighborhood? have a chance to walk around? Do you like your building? Do you, the neighbors seem friendly? So that all matters a lot more. So it's been worth it. We've saved a lot of money that way, and also we've had a better experience, which I think is really important, because you can have a bad experience in a place that's not the fault of the city, just because you didn't have a great apartment or you didn't pick the best neighborhood, for your lifestyle. So
Yeah.
that's worked out for us.
No, it's a fantastic strategy. Get started, stay for a week, explore and figure out where is the place you're going to stay, and you can play around and negotiate. So, for the viewers, there are groups on Facebook, and what Maddie was saying, and when you click on groups in Facebook, you just type in Kuala Lumpur short term, or did you say rentals or short term rentals or
Yeah, or usually it says rentals or accommodations.
accommodations? Okay. So once you
You'll see both.
search for that, you'll find groups that you can join. Then you have to hit join, and then you can browse through all of the apartments that people display within those groups. And that's what you guys are doing.
Yeah, I usually put a post in the group, so I try to join them like a week before we come. If you do it too far in advance, um, these apartments in Southeast Asia, at least, they go too quickly. So, like, we were looking at apartments in Bangkok, and people were taking the apartment that we were supposed to look at like that day. So
Yeah.
things move quickly. So you don't want to start too early. So I recommend like a week out, make a post on there and say like what you're looking for, the amenities that you like absolutely have to have in the area. And then put like a number, a maximum budget. Don't put your real maximum budget, just
Sure.
put towards that number, but
Yeah.
slightly lower. And then a lot of the times the agents will reach out, they'll message you, and then you'll
Okay.
get their WhatsApp, and then you can set up showings.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, that's how we do it.
Okay, great. Let's describe what you guys found, what you're living in. It looks like it's quite high up.
Yeah, I think there's 47 floors. We're on the 21st floor.
Okay.
Um, so this building has two towers. I think they do a lot of short-term rentals here. So there are some Airbnbs. As I said, we already stayed in one on the
Hmm.
other side of the building. But we do have this great view on this side. There's two pools, two gyms.
Ooh.
So yeah, amazing amenities. We do use them every day. So that's been really great for us. I would say, I mean, the grounds are beautiful. The building's also connected. So there's a walking like corridor to a shopping mall, Lala Port
Hmm.
Shopping Mall. And so we can do our grocery shopping there. There's like 50 different restaurants, there's stores. If it's raining and you want to go walking somewhere, that's a good place.
Hmm.
Uh, there's green space there. There's go-karting there. I mean, there's plenty to do.
Yeah.
So
Do
much
they
within like a 10 or 15-minute walk from here. It's been great. Yeah.
nice? Do they have like a rooftop terrace or anything?
So the pool, there's one of the pools is on the 35th floor, so you get the beautiful skyline views.
Yeah.
And there's some like outdoor seating, garden like
Okay.
areas. Yeah. So we do
Okay.
have that.
So you guys are living large in Kuala Lumpur. It sounds like you really scored a nice apartment. How big is the apartment?
I would say it's probably around 800 square feet, and it's a true one bedroom. So the bedroom's closed off, pretty big. And there is like a second bedroom, but it's not completely enclosed. It's kind of like a den.
Okay.
But we have a nice kitchen. We have an oven, which is hard to find in Southeast Asia. A dining area, living area. So
Washing machine,
yeah, a
full
washing
size
machine.
refrigerator. You don't always get that. So yeah,
Okay.
we're really happy
Yeah,
with
it's
this.
plenty of space for the two of us.
Yeah.
And
It's
there's a
that's
gym. There's a
yeah.
gym and a pool. Do they have like saunas and stuff like that too?
Sauna, hot tub. There's a lot of public spaces. There's security. You get delivery here, and it's a walkable neighborhood. So we basically cut our prices like for what we're getting in Florida, like by 2/3. We pay like a third for like everything.
Yeah.
So you can just do a lot more with that, or have more free time, or however you feel like living. Yeah.
Well, what would the equivalent apartment in Miami be for that?
So we were
Yeah.
north of Miami, but we had similar amenities in a smaller building in a walkable neighborhood, which is not common in Florida, and we were paying about 3,000 a month.
Yeah.
So get
The
the
the only big difference was that apartment was a 20-minute walk to the beach. So
Okay.
I will say, I mean, we are here in Kuala Lumpur, we are in the city center, so that is very convenient. And we can also walk, it's like a 5 minute walk to public transportation if we wanted to. Um, but yeah, in Florida, we were paying 3,000, but it was 20 minutes from the beach, walkable.
Okay. All right. So now let's dive into where you guys have been. How many countries have you explored so far?
I think it's 12
Okay, you've
since
been to,
we've been doing like the slower travel.
Yeah, usually
okay.
start on 1, 2, 3 months, so we kind of do a deep dive in each place. So, um, yeah, the cities are very different, or the towns we've explored are very different. So we're kind of learning a lot about ourselves and
Yeah, it was 12. I think it's been like 12 countries over 4 continents. So to name them, we've been to Mexico, Costa Rica, Peru, Colombia, Spain, Greece, Italy, Germany, Thailand, Malaysia. Am I forgetting
yeah,
something?
some other
Costa
countries. Yeah,
Rica. There
Okay.
might be another one.
yeah, Vietnam is next for us.
Did you guys go to
Also,
Panama?
No, not
we've
yet.
heard good things.
Yeah, we have heard it's really popular with expats.
It's been, well, Panama's been voted like in the last 2 or 3 years by expats the number one destination to move to. By there's a publication that does this, so like it's a really it's a real desirable area. It's a great place in Central America. So of all these places, you guys started out where again? What part of the world did you start out in?
We first went to Costa Rica and then we went over to Europe. So
Okay. So your first experience, Costa Rica, did anything stand out in Costa Rica? Together, you guys are there for the first time. You're out of the country. You're like going, wow.
I just thought it was more expensive than we thought it would be, and like the roads are a little bit
it
rough.
was really hard to get around. Like if you wanted to explore one city, and one thing about us is we avoid driving when we're abroad. We just don't want to the hassle or just we
Yes.
want to avoid it. So we always try to stay in a walkable area, but Costa Rica was that exception. And yeah, the roads were a bit not what we expected.
I'm glad we have professionals driving
Yeah.
on those roads.
It's an incredible country. I would just say that's a place that you want to pick one area and stay there.
Yeah. Okay. And then you guys went further south and explored some areas in South America.
Yeah, so yeah, we loved Medellin, Colombia. We heard a lot about it. It was easy to get flights from South Florida, for instance. And so yeah, it was also like surprising in how affordable it was and how much there was to do. And it was safer than we thought it would be. It's not as safe as Southeast Asia necessarily. Um, and one interesting thing I think we found is that in Latin America, you probably need a bit more Spanish than even in Southeast Asia, which I did not expect. There'd be more English here than
Right.
maybe in a lot of Latin America. So it's been an easier transition here in some ways. Like a lot of the signs in English and menus in English. And in Latin America,
Hmm.
you might not find that depending where you're at. After that, we hit up Peru. Lima was like mind blowing to me
Yeah.
because I didn't know too much what to expect. Like you
Yeah.
hear, like when we were in Mexico City, we heard that's an amazing food city and it lives up to the hype, and it was awesome, and we could talk about
Yes.
that all day. But Lima was like unknown to me, and it has like this. You compared it to California, the coast.
Yeah, the in Miraflores, the coastline,
Yes.
it was that was just so beautiful, so amazing, and just very calm and relaxed and clean. Oh my goodness, it was so clean. Um,
How
it
long
was,
did you stay in Peru?
I think it was just a month.
Did you stay in Miraflores? And
We did, yeah.
yeah, that's the popular spot. I spent a little time there. Yeah, Lima is gorgeous. It is a really gorgeous place to experience. Did you head out to Machu Picchu?
We did, and we got very lucky. It was a beautiful sunny day. It was just a very long travel day because we stayed in Cusco, and so we went all the way up to Machu Picchu and then came back the same day. So it was a really exhausting day, but very
Yeah.
worth it. Yeah,
How did you guys get to Cusco from Lima?
we flew.
Oh, it's very smart.
I saw a video that you talking about that you took like a 25-hour bus
It
or
was a
something.
nightmare. It was a nightmare because it
That's your
was
worst nightmare.
I had no idea, and if I would have researched it, because you keep going up in those mountains, everybody me and another person who were the only two gringos on the bus, and everybody else was Peruvian. The bus was filled up, and everybody got sick on the bus.
Ugh.
They got that they call it soroche, which is the altitude sickness. There were
Mhm.
people vomiting. There were, and I'm like, going, what are all these bags hanging? By every seat had a bag hanging from it, plastic bags. And and like
No.
15 hours into it, I realized why, because people were just barfing in the bag. And I've always enjoyed traveling by bus because you get to see the country and you stop at all these little small, towns, and you get out, and it's really an awesome experience. But man, it only takes an hour to fly out there and you don't
Yeah.
get sick. Oh, I was in so much pain. I was laying on the floor of the bus, and the bus driver and the people, you got to get off the floor. And I go, I can't. I can't move. I
Just
can't
leave.
move. I am so sick. I'm so sick. It was the worst ever. Don't ever do it, people. Don't take the bus from Lima to Cusco. That was like crazy. So what was your impression of that part of the of Peru out there?
I think we preferred Lima over Cusco. I mean, Machu Picchu was incredible. Although we didn't get to see any alpacas, so we were a little disappointed. We went in June, so I think it was a little
Okay.
too hot for them. But I mean, the views were incredible.
Yeah.
But as far, I think Cusco is really crowded. I think there was some kind of festival there when we were there, and so
Yeah.
it was unusually like crowded. So like anytime you tried to go anywhere, if you got in a car, I mean, you were just sitting in traffic. And there was like music day and night, and like we had to get up at like 4 in the morning to go on our Machu Picchu tour. So we were like trying to sleep, and it was loud. So probably not our best experience in Cusco.
Hmm.
But Lima blew us away.
Okay. Now, of all the places in Latin America, do you have a top destination?
Yeah, that's hard. Yeah, Lima was great,
We,
or Mexico City.
yeah, or Mexico City.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
If you're
if
looking
you
for a place maybe to start and you're in the US, Mexico City is geographically close. It's a major city, so if you're accustomed to a major city, it'll be probably an easier transition. And there's some English spoken there,
Mhm.
and it's more, it's expensive for Mexico, but it's probably less expensive than most places in the United States. Lima's quite far from the US. It's further than I realized until I look at the map.
Yeah.
But it's worth it.
Yeah, it was
But if
like
you want
7 hour
an
flight.
easier transition, maybe Mexico City's a good first try. And you're familiar with the food too, right? And you know you're gonna like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all the hype. Mexico City is all the hype, and everybody that goes down there falls in love with it too. It's become so popular. There's people that say in certain neighborhoods now, all you hear is English because there's so many people
Right.
from Canada and the United States and other parts that just speak English. And the area La Condesa is an area that
Mhm.
I hear is really popular in a lot of English speaking in the cafes and everything down there. Did you guys stay near there?
Yeah, we stayed in Roma Norte, which is
Yep.
you can walk. Yeah, you can walk to La Condesa.
Okay. Awesome. And how long were you down there in Mexico City?
In a month.
Yeah, that was another, I think that was like a little longer than a month, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then where did you go from there?
We went to Spain.
Yeah, that was another big trip. So we did like over a month in Spain, and we do Madrid, Seville, and Malaga.
Okay.
Um, but mostly Madrid. And Maddie really fell in love with
Yeah.
Madrid. I really liked it too. It reminded me of like if you compare it to New York City, that's where I'm from originally. It's like a cleaner, greener, safer, cheaper New
Yeah.
York. Um, yeah, we really loved it.
Yeah, I could live in Madrid. It's probably my favorite place that we've been to in all of Europe, which is saying a lot. But just the people, the culture, the liveliness, it's everyone is always out like doing something, or even if they're just sitting on the patios, it's just such a rich culture, and so such like a lively city. It makes you not want to sit at home, you know?
Very
Hmm.
social place.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And just it's beautiful. The parks, it was like a little bit more affordable than the rest of Europe or most of Europe. So we just had an amazing time there. That's probably my favorite place that we've been to.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right. Scott's What Scott's like going, no, not for me. Not. I love Madrid. I spent some time in Madrid. I spent a summer a few years back in Spain and just had a blast and spent a good amount of time in Madrid. It's an amazing city. I fell in love with Madrid, and it's a special place in Spain, for sure. Okay, so then where else did you guys go? We'll just kind of cover some of these places, get your impression of these places, and then we'll talk about like where can people live, where are the best, most affordable places that you've been to, and we'll touch on that. So where did you guys go after Spain?
We've done a bunch of places like kind of like we did the Christmas markets, for instance. I would say we were more tourists in that situation.
That
And
was
we
pretty
did
cool.
Greece for a little over a month. And there, I would say we kind of did like half slow travel, half tourism. So we loved Athens and we kind of wish we spent more time there. We didn't realize how fun and affordable Athens would be, depending on the neighborhood. I'd say neighborhood by neighborhood is
Yeah.
how or walkable it is. But we spent probably more time than we needed, but it was still fun in Santorini and then the island of Paros.
Yeah.
But yeah, we loved all of that. So I don't know if we look at those as places to live, but we had to visit to find out. Athens, maybe, but a Greek island, probably not. Not for our lifestyle, as far as like, convenience and just the affordability factor. But it was good to find out.
Yeah, I could see it being popular with like retirees that really want to slow down and just live somewhere beautiful near the
Hmm.
water. But for people that are like still working and want a more active lifestyle, it would be tough. And then where else have we've gone
Those
to?
places also weren't like super walkable, like the sidewalks made it a bit tough. You probably need to have a car or
Yeah,
some kind of
definitely.
transportation.
Yeah, even on
Hmm.
the island.
Before we dive into Italy, so you guys are on Paros and Santorini,
Mhm.
which are two islands in Greece. Santorini is probably one of the most well-known islands. If you type in Greek island, typically imagery comes up on Santorini. So what was your impression of these islands when you first arrived?
Beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, people go to them for a reason. Like they're gorgeous. And I think that they're worth going to. Just we probably spent a little too long there as far as like you don't need to slow travel at those places, but we didn't know that. But we definitely enjoyed it. We still figured out how to go to the gym and how to, do our day-to-day life and
Yeah.
all that stuff. But I think when you travel, you find out what's your personality, and you need to be in a spot for more than a couple days to really figure that out.
Yeah.
Do I like having a siesta lifestyle and the restaurants are closed, or I don't like that? Do you like, having easy, cheap transportation, or do you not care about that? The weather, all these things, like you need a little bit more time to experience. So it was valuable in that
Hmm.
sense. I think even when you travel, if you're like there, you're gonna learn what you don't like, and then you can start crossing places off maybe that you
Yes.
don't think fit where you want to retire or spend more time in. And I think that's also just as important to learn more about yourself and what you're gonna get into.
Hmm. Okay. All right. Then your next place is Italy.
Yeah, these are out of order, but we were in Milan, Cinque Terre, and Lake Como.
Oh.
Uh, yeah.
No.
Um, I think that was a birthday gift, Lake Como.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a birthday trip, the Lake Como part. So, um, beautiful. I mean, just this is just like such an amazing country and such like warm people, and the food is, I mean, some of the best food ever. To live, I found it difficult. Like if you want to go to the gym, which Europe is different from the US in that most places are walkable. I mean, as long as you're not on like an island, you can usually, if you stay near a big city or if you're in a major town, um, they are walkable. So maybe you don't need to go to the gym as much. We still like to have the gym. So that it kind of makes it difficult. Also grocery shopping in the smaller towns, there's not a big grocery store. There's not even like a big market. So we eat a lot of meat. It would be really hard for us to live in those places long term and also be like productive.
Yeah.
Uh, but I could see us, going back there for a month and visiting and being tourists, or just like,
Mhm.
taking a break there. But it would be tough to live.
Yeah. I think one thing I learned about myself is I really like variety. So Italy has the best Italian food, but where is the Indian food and the Thai food and the US food and the, right?
Yeah.
Not as much, and depending where you're at. And
Yeah.
so I value that kind of thing. I also maybe value different types of, nightlife, different types of live music or just a lounge place or things like that. So it really just depends. Like, could you see yourself there all the time or for a few months or a season and that's what you really learn by, by doing this. So, all that's been really valuable. And so also
Hmm.
just been eye-opening to see how other cultures live.
Yeah.
Just things that you can like steal from every culture that you really like and incorporate it into how you live, and say, okay, I like that style, or I just never thought of living that way, or of doing that. So then I guess after that we came, was that Southeast Asia now? After Greece,
Yeah.
or yeah,
Sometime we went to Germany, but yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, these are all out of order here.
Yeah,
This
that's
one's okay.
fine.
We went
Yeah,
to Paris.
yeah, we went to Paris and went to the Christmas market. Those weren't necessarily like to live.
Yeah, those were
Um,
more a tour. That
yeah.
was
More to see quickly. So I've seen, more places as tourists, but now we're in Southeast Asia, and this is more of a place that we're really slow traveling and finding out how to live. So we're in Bangkok, Thailand for a couple of months. We just finished that trip. Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, we went there in December, so we were there for December, January, beginning of February, and then we came here to Kuala Lumpur, and now we've been here 2 months or 2.5 months, and next we're gonna be in Vietnam, so we're excited for that. But this has really been like when we were traveling to all those places, a lot of the like we still had our apartment in Florida, so we did still have that home base that we were coming back to. Last July, so what, it's been like 8 months, we got rid of our apartment or let it go, and we moved all of our belongings into a storage unit. So that was kind of like dipping our toes into this full-time travel lifestyle. I think I was more ready for it than Scott was. And so we got the storage unit, and then last November we came back from Greece, and we were like, okay, we don't need the storage unit. It's just costing more than it makes sense. So we flew back and sold everything in one weekend. It was a crazy whirlwind.
Wow.
Yeah, moved the sentimental stuff to my mother-in-law's house. And then, yeah, we left for Southeast Asia, and now we've been here ever since.
That takes a lot of courage to let go of
It
all that.
was,
Whew.
it was a lot in a few months span, but there was a lot to build up to that. So, we did take the steps, like when we were deciding to let go of our apartment or keep the lease. It was just starting to not make sense because we were gone so much and it was
Yeah.
very expensive. And as much as we loved it there, the cost of living was starting to just not make sense for us, especially if we wanted to be on the road that much.
Yes.
Um, and since we were both working remotely, it made more sense to live abroad.
Yeah, I think slow travel gives you the courage to do it. Like, it sounds like a lot, but the first step was, we just left home for a month. Okay, and how was that like? Like, oh, did we, were we able to navigate the streets? Did we figure things out? Were we nervous? Or, oh, it's a little easier than we thought it would be. Okay, so that makes you feel more courageous to do the next one. Once you have a good experience, then you're like, okay, I can try this for maybe 2 months the next time somewhere else. So we didn't do it all in one shot. Each time became a little easier. Uh, and then, it just seemed to make sense for us. And the worst case was always we can come back home, right? What's the
Yeah.
worst? We go back to the United States and get a new place and come back. In the meantime, we would have saved a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
Uh, so
Yeah, we even talked about before we officially let go of everything, the storage unit. Um, worst case scenario, if we hate Southeast Asia for whatever reason, like if we come all the way here and we don't like it, would we come back to Florida? Would we come back to like try to get this apartment back? What would we do? And we talked about it for a long time, many times. And it came down to no, we wouldn't, because it's so expensive and we don't really feel like it's the best bang for our buck, and it doesn't make sense at this stage in our lives. So we actually said that we'd probably go to Mexico City if we didn't like Southeast Asia because it's so easy
Okay.
to stay there for like 6 months at a time is the
Yeah.
visa.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah. So what do you think your guys' ultimate goal is on this journey? Is it to find a landing pad and call it a home now?
Um, yeah, so we are ultimately looking for that home base where we could see ourselves living for however long,
Hmm.
indefinitely, and hopefully one day raising a child there. So we are looking for places, we've mentioned like walkability, the amenities, the conveniences, but we are also looking for a place that already has like an expat community
Yeah.
because I think that'll be easier for us to transition into that stage of life. And so, whether that's one country or maybe like two or three countries that we bounce around in a region, I know that's popular in Southeast Asia for people to do. That is something that we're open to.
Okay. All right. So now you guys have explored all these places. We did a little recap on all of the places that you visited. For the viewers watching, which places do you find have been most affordable?
Yeah, Southeast Asia by far.
Okay.
So we've done expensive cities here, so it could be much cheaper than even this. But Kuala Lumpur is the capital of Malaysia, right? And
Yeah.
Bangkok in Thailand. So you could even get more affordable than that. But out of all the places we've been, these are the most affordable, and you get a lot for your money. So we have not sacrificed any quality, which is something I was kind of concerned about. Like, oh, maybe you get what you pay for. Okay, well, the scale is all different here. So here, you could be, if you're a middle class American, you might be wealthy in some of these places. And that sounds weird to say, but you're going to be, if you could be paying a third or half of what you pay now in the United States, and you'll be in the best neighborhood in the capital city. And the capital cities here are usually really, really nice in a
Yeah.
place that's way more modern than I ever imagined. So, we have the same or better quality, certainly better quality food. We've done healthcare here. Maddie is a nurse, and we actually did a video reviewing like the healthcare here. We got full health screenings.
Oh, wow.
You added it up, it would have cost us $10,000 to do these tests in the United States because they're not covered.
Yeah.
These are like
And it costs us less than $800 for the two of
two of
us.
us.
For full health screenings, Scott had a cardiac stress test for his heart, full testing, and we got all the results back within like most of them the same day. A few we got emailed to us like the next day or a couple days later, but it would have cost $10,000 in the US to do the same amount of tests, and it would have taken months to schedule all of them and get the results.
And you
Yeah,
did
and
that
we
in
talked to
Malaysia?
yeah.
In
Yeah.
We
Malaysia.
did
Okay.
this a few weeks ago. We talked to our Grab driver, and he's like, we have public health care here. You didn't need to do that because this was the elite institution in the country, right? And this is for us so affordable, and we could walk in. They treat you very nicely. The doctor spoke to us, and took his time.
And they tell you the cost up front. So,
Oh,
the biggest part was the price transparency because in the US, trying to find out how much anything costs when you have to go into the hospital or get any test done with insurance involved or even without insurance, it's impossible.
Yeah.
Um, and it's really a disservice to Americans. I won't get into all of that, but it's just really not great in the US the way that the healthcare system is
It's
run. So yeah, coming here and you schedule an appointment via email, which is great. We could have gotten in sooner, but we scheduled it a week out because that's what worked for our schedule. And you walk in and it's this beautiful like place. It looks like a 5-star hotel. We went to Prince Court Medical Center here in Kuala Lumpur. And they sit you down before your appointment and they're like, here are the tests that you want done today, correct? And we're like, yeah. And they're like, here's how much it costs. Are you okay with that? Yes, that's great. Like in the US, they would never. So
yeah.
it's just so refreshing to like
Yeah.
not have that worry when you're getting health things taken care of.
everything in English too.
Yeah.
Perfect English.
That's such a great story to share, even on your own YouTube channel, because the system definitely is broke in the US. It's been broke for a long time. And people, when they go overseas and have these experience and share them, it's like night and day the care that you get, the quality of care that you get can be incredible. My question for you guys, you were in Thailand. Thailand is known for excellent healthcare too. What did you think about doing these tests in Thailand?
When we got to Thailand, we didn't get around to it, in all honesty. It was our first time, we had just come over from the US, and it was our first time in Southeast Asia, and we only had 60 days there, which I know is a lot, but when you're completely adjusting your whole world, we didn't get around to it when we were there. So we really made a point to get it done once we got here.
Okay.
But it's not something that we're opposed to, and we've seen a lot of other people have really positive experiences.
Yeah. And you guys based yourself out of Bangkok?
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. How did your apartment there compare to the one you have in Malaysia?
Yeah, similar, I would say. So right now we're paying 864 a month, and there we paid like 975 a month with a gym and a pool, a walkable neighborhood, the security and all that. And kind of
It was one
a
bedroom.
one bedroom in the heart of the city. So pretty similar. So I'd say Kuala Lumpur is even more affordable than Bangkok, just whatever your visa situation is or how long you want to stay, and then the cities are pretty different.
Yeah.
They're similar, but certainly different. So whatever suits your personality best.
Here's the big question. So when people think Bangkok, Kuala Lumpur, Southeast Asia, incredible cities, which one's better?
We're gonna make a video about that, but we'll tell you right now. Yeah.
Yeah, we're working on it.
Okay,
So I
so
think
don't reveal
No,
it then.
we can share. It's
You got to
here's
tease. No, you got to tease the people so they watch your video. I'm gonna watch your video, you guys, just because I want to
Well,
know.
I think our video will be out before this one.
I don't know. Well, we'll say we'll give like the full in-depth answer so if someone can answer for themselves based on their personality. So I think it
Yeah.
really matters who you are in your situation and will help you decide for yourself
Yeah,
which one makes sense.
that's good. I love that. Did you guys check out like Chiang Mai? Because a lot of people fall in love with Chiang Mai.
On our list.
It's on our list.
Okay.
We're looking at eventually maybe getting a longer visa for Thailand just because the 60 days is really quick to get to those smaller cities, especially if we can't fly directly there coming from somewhere else, then you have to like fly into Bangkok and then fly into the other city. And so it's just like a lot of moving around. We like to move slowly. So
We'll get there. We have a lot of places on the list, and that's
yeah, we'll get there. We might get a longer visa in Thailand to spend more time exploring the other areas.
Hmm. Okay. And how many more places do you guys anticipate visiting before you say, okay, now we've visited enough countries, we need to pick one?
Yeah, so I think the plan is maybe for another year or so, and then pick the country to give birth in.
Yeah.
And then start the family. And so I think
Yeah.
that'll be it. So we have
You know,
we have a bunch of places to explore, and it's really nice that these places are all like a pretty short flight from each other. If we decide to stay in Southeast Asia, but we're really enjoying it so far. So next is Da Nang, Vietnam, the beach city.
Yeah.
We're expecting big things to enjoy that. So
yeah, we miss
we'll
being
find
by
out.
the water. We love the big city life, and it's great for us, but we do really miss being by the water. So
Okay.
we're excited for that. And then after Vietnam, we're looking at going to Bali, so Indonesia.
Oh, Indonesia is really a special place too, and a lot of people just fall in love with that. Does language matter for you guys or not necessarily?
Yeah, I think it does. It makes life, less of a transition when there's some English spoken or there are groups of people that speak English. So
What I mean by that question is that do you guys lean more towards a country where you have a desire to learn that language? Some countries are very difficult to learn, and especially in Southeast Asia. And
yeah,
that can be a deterrent. And then, we grow up in the United States and we're speaking a lot of Spanish already, especially if you're in Miami. So
Yeah.
making the transition to Latin America could be easier to learn the language. Does that matter to you guys or?
yeah, I think it matters. Yeah, we did speak our elementary Spanish in Latin America, and it
And in
definitely
Spain, yeah.
and in Spain, and it definitely helped. But our Spanish is not very good. So I think we try to learn the words to be polite in especially in Southeast Asian. Really, every country we go, we want to say hello and thank you and start a conversation. And then usually the person feels bad for us and switches to English. That
Yeah.
doesn't always happen.
I would
So
I
yeah.
would say it's a deterrent for us. Like I know languages, especially like we're going to Vietnam and Vietnamese is hard for English speakers to
Yeah.
learn, from everything I've read and watched. I wouldn't say it's a deterrent because I think I mentioned this earlier, but we are looking for a place that already has an expat community. So we are hoping like there is at least a group of people that we can converse with in English while we kind of find our feet. So
Yeah. And see, and I'd be thinking too, you guys want to have a family and start a
Mhm.
family overseas. So wherever you plant your base, your child or children are going to be learning that language. And then I would be
Yeah.
thinking, is this language going to be beneficial for my child? Because they're obviously going to learn English and then they're going to
Mhm.
learn that language, which, so I think, I'm like, have you considered that? Like, what language would you want your child to learn? You haven't had
Not
those?
really.
Okay.
I think not really because we both took Spanish growing up and we never really used it until we traveled, and even then, I mean, now with cell phones and the internet and SIM cards, I mean, you have Google Translate to at least get you by.
Yes.
Um, so as far as I mean our child goes, I don't think the second language is it really is like steering where we go.
Okay.
There's a lot bigger. That's a factor for sure.
It's an added bonus, I
Yeah.
see it as, but
I think of the bigger factors for us would be, yeah, the safety of the place, the family friendliness of the place, affordability, healthcare. Language is, yeah, it's a good thing to consider. There's just so many things to consider, right?
There
So,
are.
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, you got to watch too, because like you definitely need that gym membership if you're going to move to Italy. You
Yeah.
know, but like in Asia, you're a little bit safer because the food's healthier, so so I think about all that stuff too. If I go to Italy and spend time in Italy, which I do, I mean, you just pack on a few pounds, because the food's so darn good. And then of course everybody's selling gelato in the you got to dabble in the cannolis every now and then. It's just terrible. It's just
It's a hard life.
it's a tough life. I hate- But well, that's pretty much everything that I can think of, you guys. Is there anything else we can that we didn't discuss that could be helpful to the viewers watching about what you're doing or how to do it or find the courage to get out there and explore?
It's not always about like yes, living abroad, you can save a lot of money, especially if you come to a place um like in Southeast Asia. But also if you're thinking about like actually making this move, a big part of that is it's not just the cost savings, but what can you do with all that money? So looking down the road, could you retire earlier? For us, we do think about like if we can cut our costs by this much, we could work less right now, and that means more free time and more freedom to do what we want with our time. And so, like having a child, we could spend more time with our child. If we wanted to explore something like homeschooling, we could do that. In the US, these things would be really difficult. We might have to look at like getting another job. And so the cost savings are great, but it opens a lot of doors. So what can you do with that? What can you do with all that freedom?
Hmm.
And I think that takes it kind of a step further in picturing like what kind of life you want and how you're going to build that and kind of just thinking about those like long-term goals.
Hmm. All right, well said. Well, that's great. Well, guys, thank you so much for taking the time to share this experience with us, and your YouTube channel. Share your name of the YouTube channel again.
Touchdown money travel.
Yep, check it out, guys. We're going to put it in the description below so you can follow
Thank
their
you.
journey. And they are traveling to all of these amazing countries to determine where their home base is going to be, where they can raise their family. You guys, all the success in the world to you guys. Thank you again for doing this. I truly appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so, so much.